Welcome to Thom Teaches YouTube and my new YouTube video podcasting voiceover space. My wife and I just moved to a new house this summer, and part of the process for me was revamping my studio space now that I've got a dedicated office to do all of this YouTube and video and podcasting work. I'm super excited how it turned out. In this video, I want to share how I utilized my previous space in our old house and what I did with this new space in the new house. All the different stuff that I talk about that I ended up getting or using or keeping in this video, I've gone ahead and linked in the description if you're interested in checking any of it out. Additionally, I am teaching the YouTube video production class again this year, and so this channel is going to be home to some of the tutorials that I'm going to make for my students in there, as well as YouTuber assignments. And so if you are interested in learning how to create and grow on YouTube, and you want that little extra push and accountability of having actual assignments with rubrics that you can do self-assessments with, then go ahead and subscribe. I'm also planning on doing a little bit more live streaming on this channel, where I'm going to be checking out your videos and your channels and giving you feedback on ways that I feel you're doing really good work and ways that you can improve your YouTube video content. So if you hit the bell, you'll be notified when I do go live if you don't want to miss out on that. But first, let's rewind a little bit and see the space that I was working with at my old place. So it is July 1st. Me and my wife just closed on our house, and so one of the exciting parts of that is that I'm going to be getting a whole new studio. You can kind of see we are beginning the moving process. By the way, banana boxes from your local grocery store are like the best thing as moving boxes, and they're free. One of the nice things is that we're gonna have a separate room for the office, whereas this is a guest bedroom and an office at the same time, and it's kind of small. So really excited with all the space that we're gonna get. I'm currently working with an IKEA desk right here. It's been a good desk for the time being. It fit perfectly. I had a little bit of extra space down here, a little bit of storage space inside of this little drawer, and my PC fits right underneath there. I plan on getting a standing desk because a lot of times just sitting here, I get real tired and just kind of want to stand up. And so I'm going to get a standing desk that'll rise up. I'm also going to get a desk much bigger than this one because I'd like to have two monitors, just because it makes a lot of my workflow stuff with the podcast and with video stuff a lot easier. And on the standing desk that I'm getting, since it's going to be a lot bigger, I think I'll be able to put my computer on top of the desk. This is the bookshelf that's in the background of a lot of my current videos. I'm not sure if I want to get a second one to go next to it. We'll have to see. And currently I've got some cables from that little interface that I can plug microphones into running around here. That's Sarah's desk running down here. But in here is my recording studio. You can see my microphone right there that's plugged in, and I've got my iPad right there. Currently I'm using like all these comforters and things to dampen the sound so the sound doesn't reflect and it sounds a lot more professional. I plan on using acoustic foam. I have a closet similar to this in the new space. I think that'll be good and less janky than this, but I think it'll depend on how much acoustic foam I have. So it'll look a little bit more professional. I probably won't we'll have a little more space, so I probably won't have to keep all our games and everything in there. So I am currently in the new studio. This is part of the new desk. This is part of the new desk. This is the top of the new desk. It's about 72 inches, which I'm really, really excited about. This is gonna be my voiceover studio. I've got the microphone there. I got about, I don't know, what is this, 12 of these? And I'd made some measurements. If I wanted to do the entire closet, it would cost have to get $400 worth of those things. So I might do a mix of those and maybe some comforters. I'm probably gonna keep the shelving in here, but I don't know if I'm gonna put anything on there. I'm imagining the camera being maybe like right here when I'm taking videos, so you can kind of see, I don't know, if a wide angle lens, you can kind of see the voiceover studio in the background. My big shelf that I had in my videos will go back here, I think, and there's some of my other computer stuff. So Sarah's desk is gonna go over here. I'm gonna take that. That's like a desk that comes out of the wall, but that was already with the house. I'm gonna take that out. I might put a little fridge over here. That's gonna be a drawer that's gonna go underneath the desk, and that's big enough for my desktop computer or my PC computer to go on top. Spent maybe, oh no, an hour and a half, 2 hours putting this all together. I'm putting it together myself. It's extraordinarily heavy, so I'm not gonna risk trying to turn it over and like putting a lot of weird pressure on these legs kind of oddly. So I'm gonna wait till someone helps me out. So the desk is up. Planning on having the computer there. I think it'll work out. Throws off a little bit of the symmetry off there because I don't know if I want my monitor there. Possibly. And then I've got this little bookshelf back here. That is like a little mesh thing, which is kind of nice. And it's gonna attach up here. And so that way any other cables that aren't being caught by this little cable management thing will be able to go into the mesh thing. So I've got 2 surge protectors, one in there and then one attached to the back, which is kind of cool. So I should have plenty of outlets. Office progress is coming slowly but surely. Let's take a look over here. So I've been working on my standing desk. My chair is coming soon, so I can figure out what the level is. This is stuff I need to attach, but I just ordered a second monitor about this size, as well as one of those arms that holds both of them. So I kind of need to see what that's gonna look like before I can add my GoPro either on top of the speaker with this, or maybe clamp it on one of the monitors, I'm not sure. I've got this little desk since there's no drawers or any storage on here. Oop, I think that's someone to fix my AC. AC works, but when you get a new home, you find all these little things that probably need to get checked out, like a second drainage line that water shouldn't be coming out, because that means deciding where to put some of this stuff. But I had this unit that I kept a lot of kind of storage stuff, so I'm figuring out what needs to stay here, what should be at my desk, what can go in my little memories and letters and pictures box, because I had some of that stuff in here as well. This feels kind of empty on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna go there, or if I'll just spread it out and make it look really minimal. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this hat here. I really like video games and I'm doing esports stuff, but this makes it like seem like I'm really into games, which isn't really the case right now. I don't really play that much anymore. What's nice about the standing desk is all of this stuff. Setting up all this stuff down here is a lot easier since I can raise the desk so high. But I can't wait until all this gets a little cleaned up. Status reports. I just got a 50-foot Ethernet cable for my tower because our modem is out here in our little reading room. There's a new bookshelf. It's right down there. So I plan on just having it go around and wrap around and come to the back of the tower over there. Secondly, I bought a new 27-inch monitor. This is a 27-inch monitor. It is a 2K 27-inch monitor. I decided to go ahead and get a 4K 27-inch monitor. I'll show you the brand once I get it set up. First one's in. I had to tighten this up a little bit because it was kind of just dripping over. I've got my 2 monitors up. I can turn that on while I'm talking. What I am actually pretty happy about, let me go show you what's going on over here. My router is back here using these little kind of nail them in. Kept it a little bit loose just in case I needed some slack, but it went all the way around behind the little fridge up through this way. I decided not to go ahead and attach it there, but behind the desk. You can't really see it from here, so that's good. And it comes up just long enough. So I'm really happy about that. The last thing I am going to try to clean up is this situation right here. It's behind the speakers, but you can still kind of see a little bit of the mess. The goal is to imagine as if there's like no wires. So there's nothing underneath. The only 2 coming to the outlet are this power strip and the power strip that's in there, and that's all the excess slack. So it's a few days later. I would say maybe 98% of the way done with my office. Got my desk pretty cleared out. These are my 2 monitors. I ended up getting a GoPro mount that clips on right here that I could use for any kind of live streaming or something like that, and I can move it around a little bit. We got my speakers. We got my interface right here for this microphone. We've got my camera stand. I don't have a camera on it, but it's pretty flexible. I got a new mic stand that should be coming in today. This one's a little bit older, doesn't have as much of a reach as the Rode one. I only have this out when I'm actually using my phone. Otherwise, I'll just kind of tuck this back. It's a phone charger. Put that over there. Coaster is hidden. Hey-o. right there. And we've got one other hidden cable. This is the charger for my mouse. It usually goes like 3 or 4 weeks before it needs to be charged, so I kind of got that hidden back there. This is my external hard drive, SSD. Love it. It's like a 0.5 terabyte. All my current projects are on there. Older projects are on here. And you can kind of see my wire management back here. Try to keep it as clean as possible. It is fairly clean from this angle. We've got a little bit of a headphone hanging, but otherwise everything's kind of put away in there. And so I'm inspired by a Instagram called Minimal Setups, if you can't tell. And so it's kind of like a balance of keeping things minimal, but also functional. Some of the ones I see on there, I'm like, how does anyone ever even use that ergonomic chair? This is my bookshelf. Found this, cleaning some stuff out. My current school, we go by first names, so I haven't been called Mr. Gibson in a long time, but I thought it was pretty cool. Someone made it my first or second year of teaching. A couple of my teaching awards up there, pretty clean up there. Some beef jerky, some books. Follow me on Books and Beef Jerky on Instagram, see some of my reads. I'm almost done with my voiceover booth, but for now, with the foam pads that I have left, I'm gonna put them on this piece of poster board that I taped together. I bought some adhesive spray, so I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna spray the adhesive, kind of like a glue on there, and then put these on alternating like this. It'll be in a straight line, but it'll kind of look a little bit like this with this alternating. This is a little bit more for the aesthetic than functionality, because this is not really like stopping too many reflections off the wall. But the walls I felt were kind of empty. I thought it would look pretty cool. Once I get this kind of adhesed in this little straight line, I'm gonna put it on the door. It's not enough to cover all of it, so I don't know, I might buy more. I think I'm gonna try to put the camera at somewhat of this angle, maybe even zoom in a little bit. I'm not sure. I would like the stuff that's in the background to be present, but if I'm like right here, I'm kind of covering up that bookshelf. Right here, it's like I've got these little wings, like things around my head that I'm just now seeing don't look really cool. So maybe if I'm sitting down, I'm not sure, and this is up like that. I'll have to experiment a little bit with the positioning and the framing of everything. I'll probably have some videos from this perspective. Anything that's gonna be more tutorial in nature, I'm gonna try to do from here, so you can kind of see the voiceover booth, you can see the monitors and the computer, and it looks pretty cool. And lastly, we got our little reading room set up. This is our loft, and so I think I might do some videos maybe at this length right here, or maybe just zoom in like that, I'm not sure. Or I might do some of my Books and Beef Jerky reviews of the different jerkies with the bookshelf in the back. That seems to make a lot of sense. There's a couch that's gonna come and go right there to kind of fill some space, but we're almost done. This is the adhesive spray. It doesn't have to be super strong, since all we're doing is putting foam onto paper. There we have it. Let's see how this looks. So the way that I'm going to attach this sheet of the acoustic foam onto the door without like damaging the door, I don't want to nail it into the door. I've got these little command strips that if you take 2 of them, they're like really intense Velcro, and so you can push them together, and then this little part is sticky. You just take the sticky part off, attach it to the back of your poster, take the sticky part off of the other side, attach, and then basically put 3 of them on there and then attach it to the wall and press in. I want to make sure it doesn't get in the way of the door closing. I might make another one to get the rest of the door, but this is just kind of a good start. So just to give you an idea of the echo reduction that is in the closet, this is the sound inside this medium room with even 2 little bits of panels on the wall. And this is the sound inside of a closet with stuff all over the walls to kind of absorb the sound and keep it from reflecting off the walls. All right, we are a couple months in. Simplified this stuff down here. I do kind of want to get a little bin for all of my beef jerky, and there's all my batteries down there. My chair came in, looks kind of nice. I don't know who exactly is gonna sit here. Maybe I'll sit here and just think, or maybe grab my guitar. I barely play guitar anymore, but I used to play a lot, so maybe it'll spark some creative ideas in the realms of video and podcasting when just I can pick up my guitar. Move these lights right here, just because I think the lights in the corner look look kind of cool and maybe will actually show that these are sound panels. I went ahead and put acoustic foam all up and down the door. I'm not too worried about having a little bit of space. I've got some foam there. I've got little pillowcases up there to kind of reflect. One little thing when it comes to acoustics with this, the fact that there's a lot of space behind this thick wool blanket actually helps to diffuse a lot of the sounds and the echoes, more so than if this was up against the wall back there. Since it's actually hanging, there's actually a little space. So sound comes out of my voice and then it goes through here. A lot of it gets kind of absorbed and spread out as it goes through, and then it kind of hits that back wall and comes back and even gets absorbed and refracted even more, since it's all that space in between the blanket and the wall. So, but I am most proud of my cable management. You can see that there's some cables over here. I do kind of wish they were together, but that's just the way it's got to be. Those two power strips I've kind of combined into this little snake thing going into the wall right there. And the only other cable, I'm wondering if I should try to get this in the snake thing as well, is the XLR cable that is going into the closet over there. Really happy with those speakers. Got my SD cards on top. Got this little light in case I need it. Everything's wireless when it comes to keyboard and mouse, which sometimes poses a problem. The receiver's right here, but I think some of the magnetism between this and the speakers can get in the way, so sometimes I'll just move that down here. And underneath right here, I've got a cable that'll charge my MacBook, and I can plug this into my MacBook if I want to project onto this monitor. So if there's ever a situation where I'm like, okay, I want to work on my MacBook right here and use one of these screens, I can plug into that one pretty easily. Headphones are coming out of here. This is a designated headphone volume, so I'll usually turn the speakers off if I'm only using the headphones. And I've got a little hook right here for my headphones, and even have some cable management for my headphone cable. And finally got this little desk organized, just my pens, my little fidget spinner, picture of my lovely wife, and just some documents here, some audio equipment and chargers, tools, lots of supplies, all my old hard drives. This is pretty mobile. I can move this camera around to different spots. This is the M50. It's got better autofocus than the camera I'm using right now. I have audio coming directly into the camera, into the microphone jack. That's actually, the audio is coming out of here and into the microphone jack on there. And then I've got this Rode NTG2. It's plugged into the first one, and then the microphone in the closet is plugged into this one right here. One interesting thing about this Rode boom arm, I bought this because I'm like, oh, I hear better things about the boom arm, and it's a little bit more mobile. You can move it and it just kind of stays. It works if you've got a heavier microphone. If you don't have a heavier microphone, the spring just kind of pulls it back up. So I bought this little thing like from like a science kit. It's like 500 grams. I had to look to see what the weight had to be and how much the mic already was, and this seemed to be kind of bringing it to the sweet spot. So I put a little one of these things in there. I hook it on, and now when I actually move it down, it stays. So I still think it's a pretty clean aesthetic. It's black and simple, so I can move this wherever it needs to go. But that's the workspace. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. It makes me happy to just like be here and work. And that brings us to today and everything that we've got going on in this space. I'm super excited to make content here in this space and share it with you. In the comments below, I want you to write what you want to learn more about when it comes to creating and growing here on YouTube. I'm Tom Gibson, this is Tom Teaches YouTube, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.